MeiHsin Wang from Royal Society of Chemistry UK. Today we're very honored to have my dear friend, Mr. Hideki Sanatake, who joined us today to share his view on the future technology and current IP development in Japan. Before we start our interview today, please allow me a proper introduction of our honorable guest, Mr. Hideki Sanatake. He is the Executive Officer of Canon in Tokyo, Japan. He is my co-author of our new book titled Law, Policy and Monetization on Intellectual Property, which will be published by Canon Publishing. Sanatake has served as the Deputy Group Executive of Corporate Intellectual Property and Legal Headquarters at Canon, and he has over 30 years of patent litigation and licensing experiences, overseeing all Canon's IP litigation and licensing worldwide. He is also active in many IP-focused associations and industry organizations, including serving as chairman of the IP community of Japan Business Machine and Information System Industry Association. Sanatake-san, would you like to say hello to our audience?
Hello from Tokyo to all viewers.
Sanatake-san, apart from his leading role in Canon, you are the chairman of IP Committee of Japan Business Machine and Information System Industry Association. What do you foresee AI and blockchain on business machine industry and any impacts on intellectual property strategies?
Blockchain and AI definitely will change our lifestyle, people's behavior, culture, and business models. I understand blockchain is good for transparency, traceability, zero downtime, and authentication. And together with AI, I think it's good. It has a good affinity with sharing business, like cost sharing. So our printer business might enjoy the aspect of this, but frankly, our business people is struggling with the new business models under AI and blockchain technology age. And without business plans, any IP strategies like pie in the sky make no sense. So frankly, we are still in the same stage that we are struggling.
Thank you very much for your very informative information. For extension of your sharing, we learned after so many apps and software patents which requires more intelligence but less physical facility investment. Therefore, there are many litigations, MPEs, trolls. They are moving from US to Europe, Asia, in particular in Japan and China. And you have been defending MPE for a long time. Would you mind sharing your experience?
As you mentioned, the number of the patent litigations, MPE patent litigations in the US is decreasing dramatically, but other areas are increasing a little bit. But at the same time, some data shows that the number of the patents to be purchased by MPEs is still stable or increasing. So I'm sure they are ready for the next stage. And looking at recent pro-patent trend in the US, I think MPE's activities will become a little more aggressive than before. So vigorously defending against MPEs are a major countermeasure. But at the same time, we use patent aggregation entities or other entities to effectively address the issue. And at the same time, I think the cooperation among the industry is one of the key to address this issue. And lock network is one of the examples.
Thank you very much for your very enlightening and very comprehensive knowledge. And nevertheless, apart from your basic work, you are also the board directors for the licensing technology network, which helps all kinds of business corporations. From the beginning till now, would you mind sharing how you team up these companies and join together for defending MPE or sharing technologies, and how you go together to develop the future IP ecosystem?
Lab Network is a purely industry-led organization, and it doesn't affect any conventional use of the patents. In other words, Lab Network is just like an invisible wall between practicing entities and non-practicing entities. Knowing that most of the patents to be used in the NB litigation is originated and sold by practicing entities, I thought we should stop the drain of the patents to the hands of NPEs as a industry. And early 2014, I think, 5 companies got together to address this issue. And at the very beginning, some IP lawyers and some major companies, IP person just laughed at us. This is just like a gathering of dreamers, mere dreamers. But now we have more than 250 members now, and we're still expanding the number from small-size business to mega-size business. So the more the number we have, the more effective and powerful activities we can have.
I learned from your website for the small and medium industry, they are free to join this organization. But how about the big companies? Are they getting other patent alliance or other organization like RPS or someone? They may have some enrollment fee or also some annual fee, something like that. So how about the difference between the big corporate and the small entities?
We have some table defining the size of the companies depending on the revenue, and depending on the revenue, the amount of the annual fee is a little different. But in comparison with other entities, it's very, very small, just small amount of money, just because we have only 2 or 3 full-time members who work.
So it's quite a pro bono organization and just an industry from cross-profession working together, trying to build a better world for IP sharing, IP defense, and working together, fostering the technology to the world and better marketing or commercialization. Yeah, thank you very much for your very kind sharing. Currently, I'm helping an international project for patent office to try out blockchain and embed it with patent, prosecution, and management. And this objective is to promote artificial intelligence and blockchain to patent world. As Sanatake just illustrated, the patent market is very complicated. And there are so many intermediate and capture values, and the process is actually a long, expensive process to agree on the price of the patent. So the technology is now making it possible to automate a process distributed through the world. For example, licensing patent portfolio or training the patent in a very cost-effective way, and to get intelligence to what patent covers and what it works. I have been impressed to witness this blockchain based on how they register the patent and how AI powered like patent intelligence to analyze the quality and the value. Also those big data analysis does help to validate a lot of core rulings from US or from China or from Europe. So I think the technology does help, but of course there are pros and cons. There are new business model, new policy or new industry rule have to be established. But the benefit for users and companies can be foreseen. So it brings simplicity and also a massive cost reduction, and the process that was still very complex today. So it's foreseeable there are the power to change the patent ecosystem and therefore the patent into the asset class. We hope soon we will have this opportunity again to invite Sanatake back to share his excellent wisdom and information and how the industry should cope with their IP strategy to do the better for the consumers, also for the corporates. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.